Hello, campers. It's Jen Cyber again, coming to you from the Mount Vernon campus of the George Washington University. Thanks to the National Security Agency and the National Science Foundation, you can join our campers in securing your computers and mobile devices. So grab a cola. Cybersecurity is in the house. Yesterday, we talked about process isolation. Process isolation means that the programs that run on your computer should have their own place in the computer's memory. Not all computer programs do this, so you have to be careful when you surf the web. Review your web browser security settings. Look for the HTTPS in the web address bar, and don't click on pop-up boxes. We're talking about a new cybersecurity rule today. Look at the picture and I'll give you a hint. When you were a little kid, did adults let you use the stove? What cybersecurity principle do you think this is? Look at the labels on the house and think about it. Today's cybersecurity concept is least privilege. Just because you all live in the same house doesn't mean you can all use the stove, right? You would not want a 2-year-old to use the stove. You don't want a little kid to get hurt, and you don't want to burn your house down. It works the same way for your technology. You might let someone use your cell phone to make a call, but you would not let them add to your Instagram. On this Windows machine, there is one user, and that user is an administrator. That means she has the keys to the kingdom. She can do anything she wants on this machine. She can install software, change settings, and lock other users out. What would happen if a hacker became an administrator on your machine? On my Windows machine, I can also create accounts for a standard user or a guest. This computer has 3 accounts, one for Drew, one for Nicole, and one for a guest. Guest accounts let other people use your computer without being able to change PC settings, install apps, or access your private files. Can you think of another reason you would want to limit what someone could do on your computer or mobile device? What about purchases? Would you want just anyone to buy something using your phone? Sophie Curtis of The Telegraph tells this terrible tale of woe for Apple and a dad. Apple has reportedly agreed to reimburse a British man for the £4,000, that's more than $5,000, worth of in-app purchases his daughter made over the course of around 5 months. 8-year-old Lily from Somerset racked up the massive bill, playing games such as Campus Life, My Horse, Heyday, Smurfs Village, all on her father's iPad. At one stage, she reportedly spent £2,000 in 6 days, buying in-game extras such as jewels, coins, and upgrades without realizing she was spending real money. Although Apple emailed her father, the notifications went to his work address, and since he was fired, he couldn't get access to those emails. He only found out what was going on when his bank froze his account. At first, Apple refused to waive the bill, stating all purchases made in the iTunes store are final, leaving Mr. Neal with the prospect of selling his car and 2 motorbikes to pay off his debts. However, Apple has now agreed to cover the cost. Lily had used the password she'd seen me enter to download the games. She's only 8 years old, and when I sat her down and explained what she was doing had cost real money, I still don't think she really understood. This is not the first time Apple has refunded a bill for in-app purchases. Earlier this year, the company reimbursed a family after their 5-year-old son ran up a $1,700 pound bill on his parents' iPad in just 10 minutes. At the time, Apple said it was vital for people to keep their passcode, designed to stop unauthorized electronic purchases on their products, safe, and said software was available to prevent children from using iTunes Store even if they had the password. That story happened in 2013. Now adults can set limits on how much a kid can spend on their mobile device or whether they can spend money at all. We have an activity for you to complete about in-app permissions. Are you up for the challenge? Did you know that when you install an app, they may be collecting more information than they need? Least privilege also means keeping companies from seeing more of your information than they need. Think about it. Does a flashlight app really need your contact list and location? Checking up on your app permissions is pretty straightforward. When you install an app, you are asked permission. If it seems too invasive, like a flashlight app needing your location, just don't install it. For apps that are already installed, you need to review permissions. On Android, go to Settings, then tap Apps, the app name, and Permissions. And on your Apple devices, click on Settings, and then Privacy, and then see permissions grouped by category, like location services or access to contacts. On both Android and iOS, you have the option to revoke any permissions you're not comfortable with, although there's a possibility that the app won't work properly anymore. Even for apps you do trust and are happy with, it's worth double-checking the permissions you've already given to them. While the guiding tech correspondent Priyank wrote this article about Facebook, this news applies to every app you use. Every app requires a certain degree of permission from the user to access either contacts, images, and likes. Similarly, Facebook also requires permissions from your device in order to be able to function at its optimal level. But these permissions account for almost all of the permissions that any app is needed. To give you a brief idea, you allow the Facebook app to access your contacts, call logs, text messages. This means that the company can see all your contacts, when you called them, your messages to them, and also see who has contacted you. The app can also make modifications in your device's calendar. It knows your location. It can use your camera, which means the app has permission to click images, record videos, and audio via the microphone too. Your internal storage, which means they can see files on your phone as well as delete them. The app can access your Wi-Fi, change the wallpaper, network connectivity, and much more. Priyank also writes, several such apps which require additional permissions that don't conform with their functionality can also be potential malware threat to your device. People usually trust top developers on the Play Store. That shouldn't be the case, and you should scan each app's permission before you install them. Let's review. Least privilege means that programs, apps, and humans do not need to be able to do everything or know all your personal details. So set up user accounts on your computers and review the app permissions on your mobile devices. I bet you still don't know what cola has to do with least privilege. Only big kids and adults should have permission to drink cola. Least privilege means babies only get bottles. Talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or you have ideas you'd like to share, contact us at gencyber@gwu.edu. We'll look forward to hearing from you. Oh, one more thing about our snacks. The snacks suggested in this online camp are designed to provide a healthy analogy for the subjects discussed in the video. Today's snack is not meant to be eaten, nor should it be eaten to develop cybersecurity skills. For a diagnosis or treatment for any cyber virus, consult an IT expert. The publisher and author of the video are not responsible for specific health or allergy needs that might require a system administrator or a dentist. Snacks are provided for informational purposes only and do not constitute an endorsement of any snack food. In fact, after you watch this video and complete the challenges, eat an apple and get outside. It's good for you.